Good morning. Nice to see you all for the first time online. So I'm Kazuichi Jo. I'm Dean and Professor at Hitotsubashi ICS. So it's my great pleasure to have the teaching kind of learning opportunities with you in the this kind of new academic year. So I'm now attending the Zoom session from my office on campus, and I hope that I can see you face to face on campus. And so today, let me talk about the kind of the uniqueness of the Hitotsubashi ICS with a focus on the mission, vision, values. Also, I'm going to refer to the history of the Hitotsubashi University, and so that you can have a better understanding of the Hitotsubashi University and the ICS. Okay? Let me show my slide.
MBA office, are we recording the session?
So this academic year is quite challenging for everybody, key stakeholders at ICS. This is quite challenging for you, for our staff members, and for our faculty, because we have to do learning with Corona. This is a very first experience for everyone. And so, and example, I think that this was already shown or informed you. This is the teaching, the kind of the at ICS in this the new term. So the MBA in term 1, the online, but for the seminar, we will be able to have the kind of offline, face-to-face discussions on campus, depending on the availability of the students. So, but most of the session will be done online. And currently, we are doing the very first stage for the EMBA, which started last week. And this is done through the hybrid the format. The most of the students come to ICS on campus, but 1 or 2 students, since they cannot come to ICS Tokyo, they are attending a session using the Zoom. Now, for the DBA, combination of the online and classroom face-to-face interactions, and for the executive education, this will be held online. So this is quite challenging for everybody, but I hope that we want to utilize this challenge to create the new normal at ICS. I think we should do our best to avoid the kind of the infection. Everything the first measure should be taken to prevent the kind of the infection. And but at the same time, we want to do the kind of we want to utilize this opportunity for innovation. Actually, the online sessions, hybrid session might be a great opportunity for us to do something new. So therefore, we want to make a shift from playing defense to playing offense. And for that purpose, teamwork is quite essential. So therefore, we want to work together to new normal at ICS. This is the kind of the shared mission for everything stakeholder at ICS. This is the mission for you students. This is the mission for us, faculty and staff. So then let me talk about our unique history, our tradition, Hitotsubashi University. Of course, you joined Hitotsubashi ICS MBA, but at the same time, don't forget you joined Hitotsubashi University. And I want to emphasize that this fact, Hitotsubashi University is one of the best universities here in Japan, also in Asia, also I think in the world. Hitotsubashi University is specialized in the social sciences with a long history. It was founded in 1875. That time we had a new government, Meiji government. Meiji government established very important 3 schools. The school for developing bureaucrats, which is Tokyo University. So Tokyo University is mainly for the school for developing the bureaucrats, and also the school for developing engineers, which is called the Tokyo Kogyo Daigaku. Tokyo Dai is a kind of school for developing engineers, and the last one, the best one, the school for developing business leaders, which is Hitotsubashi University. Originally named Shoho Koshujo, that means school for learning the commercial law. And it was funded, established in the center of the business that time in Ginza. So still today, if you go to the Ginza 6, you can find the original place for the Shoho Goshujo. And so it's kind of, you can see the plate made of the stone, and it says that this was the place for the Shoho Goshujo. And then the Shoho Goshujo School for the Running Business began to grow rapidly. So therefore, campus in Ginza became so small. So therefore, they came to this place, Hitotsubashi. And so this is the kind of second campus for the Shoho Goshujo, Hitotsubashi University. Since we got a big earthquake and the campus got collapsed. So therefore, the campus moved from Hitotsubashi to Kunitachi. So therefore, still today, we have the main campus in Kunitachi, and it takes about 40 minutes by train from the Tokyo station to Kunitachi. And the Kunitachi campus is so beautiful and so large. And also in Kunitachi campus, you can enjoy the very, very good, one of the best libraries in the world. So therefore, and the Hitotsubashi Kunitachi campus is so beautiful. So therefore, if you can come to Japan, if you can make a travel, I recommend you to go to Hitotsubashi Kunitachi campus to see the beautiful campus, to use the one of the best libraries in the world. So from the beginning, the mission for the Hitotsubashi University is this: developing captains of the industry. So therefore, we have to do research to develop the captains, leaders for the industry. We have to do teaching to develop the business leaders. And this is the mission for Hitotsubashi University. Also, this is the mission for Hitotsubashi ICS. So the Hitotsubashi ICS is the school for developing great business leaders who can take the lead in driving innovation, which is called a knowledge creation. Okay, this is our common mission. And also, of course, you belong to the Hitotsubashi ICS, and you belong to the Hitotsubashi University. Then also you belong to the Hitotsubashi University Business School, HAB. In 2018, the business education at the Hitotsubashi University got reorganized to form the B school, HAB, Hitotsubashi University Business School, and which is comprised of the domestic program in Kunitachi, School of the Business Administration, and also the School of the International Corporate Strategy. And the School of the Business Administration is located in Kunitachi, and most of the learning will be done in Japanese. So therefore, HAB is a school for the HAB in Kunitachi is a school for the learning in Japanese. And then we have ICS. ICS from the beginning, ICS is a school for developing global leaders. So therefore, comprised of the DBA, MBA, full-time MBA, and the EMBA, full-time, the part-time MBA, also the DBA to develop the researchers, and also we do the executive education. And this is the non-degree program. And then from the beginning, in 2003, 2000, the mission for ICS is developing global leaders. So for that purpose, we start the new academic year in September, which is quite unique here in Japan. Also, all the sessions or the learning will be done in English, which is also unique, quite unique. So the common language for everybody on campus at ICS is kind of English, which is quite unique. And why we got the HAB, because we have a very ambitious the bold ambition. We want to be the HAB should be the best B school in the world, and we should be accomplished by HAB in Kunitachi and the Hitotsubashi University Business School in the domestic program will be the number one here in Japan to grow the business leaders here in Japan. And the ICS should be the best B school to grow the global business leaders by means of the MBA and the EBA, EMBA, and DBA and the education. And the tagline for the Hitotsubashi is the Global Knowledge Hub in Tokyo. So the hub, the ICS, should be the center of excellence for developing leaders who can take the lead in driving innovation. This is the mission. So therefore, we want to be the hub for developing global leaders who can take the lead in driving innovation. We should be the center of excellence for doing research on innovation. And this is the kind of the identity. And also this is also we have the strong brand kind of the definition. The ICS brand defined as premium, bespoke, boutique, and bespoke. The education at ICS is premium, and this is already in this aspect we got already global recognition. ICS is one of the best B school in terms of education, and also we are boutique, we are small, and in our MBA program, the faculty student ratio is 3:1, which is quite small, and also and for the EMBA, the faculty student ratio is 1:1. That means you can enjoy the close interaction with the faculty members. So also you may belong to the one dedicated seminar, but the faculty doors are open for everyone. So you can come to the office if you can come to Tokyo, and so then you can enjoy the talk with the faculty. So therefore, we want to utilize this size for our competitive advantage. And also the brand identity for ICS is bespoke. The education can be customized depending on your vision, depending on your expertise. So this is the common brand identity for ICS MBA, and DBA, and also the EMBA. So ICS, this is the kind of ICS lay. ICS is comprised of the degree programs and also the non-degree programs. Degree programs, DBA, and the full-time MBA, and the part-time the MBA. That means EMBA. And also we offer one of the best non-degree programs in the world. And so therefore that means executive education. And we run a number of the executive education programs, which got a very good reputation in the world. So we are very proud of this kind of the ICS. But we should not satisfy with the status quo. We want to grow. So that for that purpose, collaboration between faculty and the and students is the kind of the key enablers for creating a new ICS, new normal at ICS, DBA and EMBA and MBA. And the premium, boutique, bespoke. This was already mentioned, and already in for our MBA program, we got a very high reputation in the world. And thanks to the hard work by our faculty, thanks to the hard work by our staff members, especially thanks to the hard work by you students. And Hitotsubashi ICS MBA is defined as the best global MBA program in Japan in 2018, according by the QS ranking, which is kind of the quite the important kind of ranking in the world. So therefore, I think already in MBA, we got a very global reputation and recognition. But again, we should not stay the same, and nothing is perfect. We have to do continuous improvement, Kaizen, and to make us far better. And let's work together to achieve this kind of the very ambitious vision. And for that purpose, I think that we have to reconfirm our unique mission, vision, values, because this is the foundation for our activity. So therefore, mission, vision, values should be shared among the key stakeholders at ICS. And so therefore, I hope that you can have a better understanding of our mission, vision, value. Mission means why we do exist, because we have a number of the great business schools in the world. We have the HBS in the US, we have the IMD in Switzerland, we have the London Business School in the UK. So then if we do not have the unique mission, nobody is going to come to ICS. So therefore, we have to reconfirm our unique mission. We have to build everything activity based on our unique mission. And also, we have to create a new future for ICS, for the world. So which requires very ambitious vision. So the vision means what kind of future we want to create. Okay, we means faculty and also the students and the staff members. So, and the vision also is a kind of a very important foundation for our activity. And finally, values. And this is kind of the guidelines for our decision making and guidelines for our behavior. So mission, vision, values will be shared among the faculty, staff, and you, and so that we can create the one united team. And so therefore, the mission, vision, value is kind of indispensable. So therefore, today, I do not spend so much time for talking about the mission, vision, value because time is limited. So therefore, I hope that you go to the website or the brochure of the ICS so that you can have the better understanding of the mission, vision, value. This is the kind of the prerequisite requirement for your learning at ICS. The mission and achieving the best of two worlds. This is our unique mission. The best of two worlds. We want to deny the different opinions. We want to respect the different opinions. And then we want to make the synergy between the competing concepts. So because innovation will be realized by trying to achieve the synergy between the competing concepts. So therefore, the best of two worlds is our very, very important mission. And the vision, they are to be one of the best, the premier B school in the world. Developing global-minded leaders who expert on Japan and immerse in Asia. And also this is kind of the vision for future. And I hope that in the future, we have the global leaders who are educated, who run at ICS, and those global leaders in the world, they are going to take the lead in creating the far better society. This is our mission. And the core values are the excellence, integrity, and the imagination, creativity, and also inclusiveness. Okay, nobody should be left behind. And also the citizenship. These are the kind of core values for everybody, every single stakeholder at ICS. And so there should be strong alignment between mission, vision, and core values. And so that mission will be realized, so that vision will be realized. So therefore, core values are the key enablers for us to realize, to achieve our unique mission, our unique vision. Yes. So therefore, I hope that you have a better understanding of our mission, vision, value. Especially today, I want to emphasize our unique mission. And this is based on the Hitotsubashi University unique mission, developing captains of industry. And we want to achieve the best of two worlds, okay? By integrating by making a synthesis between the two competing concepts. So because why the best of two worlds? Because we want to be a bridge for the world. And the bridge comes from Hitotsubashi. Hitotsubashi means in Japanese, one bridge. So therefore, becoming a bridge should be our unique mission. And bridge between the competing concepts, such as the East and the West, large and small, global and local, old and new, practice theory, cooperation and competition, and business and society. Those things should be strongly embedded in everything at ICS. So, for example, in our courses, you are going to learn the case study of the Japanese companies. Also, you are going to learn the case study of the Western company. Why? Because we want to be the bridge between the East and West. Also, we are going to do the case study of the large companies, big incumbent companies. Also, we're going to do the case study of the small startup companies. Again, the concept of the best of the two worlds, the bridge. So also the cooperation and competition, and this is also quite important for us. So therefore, you should be a good team leader, and with a strong spirit of the teamwork. But at the same time, you should aim for the very healthy competition with your colleagues. So therefore, don't forget the importance of the best of two worlds, which is quite important for everything at ICS. And also, we are very proud of our unique feature. That means we are the global network B school. Of course, you spend most of the time on campus, maybe offline and online. But at the same time, you belong to the kind of network or the great B schools. And so we are very proud of the local member for the global network for the advanced management. This is the kind of network for the best B schools in the world. And so therefore, we collaborate with those schools. So that then you may be able to take the Global Network Week. This is the one week intensive course offered by each global network the member. So therefore, you may be able to get a precious learning from the faculty member at the Yale. You may be able to get a precious learning opportunity from the faculty member at INSEAD, IMD, and also so this is kind of the very important kind of the learning network. So therefore, also you belong to the Hitotsubashi ICS. So, but don't forget, you also belong to this network, and also the faculty members of the partner schools are be coming to ICS, maybe online or offline, to do session. So therefore, this is kind of quite unique feature for Hitotsubashi ICS. Also, we are very proud of being a member of the BEST Alliance. This is a strategic alliance among the key B schools in Asia, also in the world. And it's the Hitotsubashi ICS and the Tech University and the Seoul National University. So you can enjoy the DBIA. This is a 3-week intensive course run by each the BEST Alliance partner school. And also if you want, you can go to the exchange program. Also, you can go to double degree. So we are very proud of this kind of global network. So therefore, you belong to this global network. And so that please use this kind of great network to grow as global leaders, okay? Which is quite exciting. And I think this year, we have a very important mission. Let's create the new normal at Hitotsubashi ICS. And the hybrid session in the foundation launchpad for this and the MBA and ICS MBA. But also we have to work together to create one of the best online education for you for our MBA. And for that purpose, I think this should be the ICS split in this academic year, and from playing defense to playing offense. Let's try to use this opportunity to create something new, to drive innovation for ICS and for Japan and for the world. And so let's enjoy this special opportunity. And this is kind of the unique mission which is given only to you. So that's it. And I hope that they become more interested in Hitotsubashi ICS, Hitotsubashi University, and I hope that we can create a great new future for ICS. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in my course, Knowledge Management, next week. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Kaz. So let me share my screen too. So hi, everybody. It's me again. And if you remember, I told you that my passion is infinitely large, but now you see the Kaz's passion is even bigger. Okay. So from now on, let me briefly explain our MBA program. And the purpose of this session is for you to know more about the ICS MBA. And for those of you who attended Open Campus or some other activities, you may heard of the information maybe more than twice. But some people actually got information about ICS only from the website and during a short interview. So I actually want to have everybody share the same information and impression about the Hitotsubashi ICS. And I also want to emphasize, especially for those courses which is unique, not available elsewhere in Japan or in the world. Okay. So, okay. Well, honestly, I don't like this picture, but this is a typical profile of a full-time ICS MBA program. Okay, this is actually information of the last class. Of course, we have an information of class of 2020, but we haven't created a nice picture like this. So let me briefly explain. So we usually have students around 45, okay? But in each semester, we may have exchange student from 1 to 5, usually. So the typical class size is around 45 to 50, okay? And average age is usually around 30. And the ratio of female students is around 50%. And students are coming from about 15 different countries. And average GMAT score is usually around 640. And the highest of the last year was 730. But this year, I think the highest is even higher than this. Okay. And we usually have 15 to 20 or 25% of Japanese students in the class. Okay, so this is the MBA curriculum, how it goes. Okay, and basically in the first year, 1 year program student, that means the 1 year student and YDP student and 2 year program students are basically have the same sequence of curriculum. Okay, so we just start term 1. We are in the middle of a foundation week. In term 1, except a few language courses, and you basically have to take required courses, lots of required courses. And in term 2, you actually have started to have an option to choose elective courses. And after term 2, we have a long, about 1 month spring break. And during that spring break, we are going to have a global network week, which Kaz shortly explain. And in term 3, you have more elective courses. And between term 3 and term 4, we actually have a strategy simulation week. I'm going to explain shortly. And term 4, again, you have more elective courses. And during summer, as Kaz explained, the Best Alliance offer doing the business in Asia course, which is a 3-week intensive course, and one week in Beijing, 1 week in Seoul, 1 week in Tokyo. And then after that, the 1 year program student graduate, and second year student, your second year activities is typically either double degree program. So you spend the ICS for 1 year, get the degree from ICS, and then you go to other schools, then get another MBA degree. I actually not sure why people need more than 1 degree, but that's one of the choice you can choose for 2-year students, okay? Or you can actually do the exchange program, like few weeks to 1 month or 2 months, and also internship, okay? And many students actually do both exchange and internship, okay? And if you are really into research, you can also do the independent research, okay? And of course, for most of the 2 years students, what is maybe most important is job hunting during that period. So they are signature courses at ICS, so very unique at ICS. Now we are in one, the foundation week, and soon after this, you actually choose which seminar to belong to, okay? So this actually, in the seminar system, you have more tight bonding and the ties with your colleague students and also with faculty members. And the third course is Japanese Business Economy course. That is actually a very fast regular course you will attend, and it's very unique. And I'm sure that even Japanese students find that you actually don't know much about Japanese economy, okay? And the fourth is knowledge management. ICS is the only business school in the world, I believe, that actually make knowledge management class as required course. So everybody in ICS or all the students at ICS have to take this knowledge management course. Okay, and Global Network Week, I'm going to explain it later shortly. And also the WISE leadership. So this is actually 1 year long course. And in that course, you actually learn not just the skills or the knowledge in business, but you actually learn something very different, but very important, okay? And between term 3 and term 4, you actually have the strategy simulation week. So this is actually the week you try to synthesize what you have learned so far. Okay, so each class you learn the different knowledge and different skills, and in the strategic simulation week, you try to synthesize them. Okay, and in summer, as I just explained, there is the opportunity for doing business in Asia course. Okay, so, and as Kaz and Yoshi mentioned several times, we actually leverage network. So unlike the school like Harvard Business School that actually do everything by themselves, we actually utilize our network with other partner schools. The first actually layer of network is traditional two-school bilateral partnership. So that is like an exchange program. We actually have 18 partner schools for exchange program, okay? And also we have 5 partners for double degree program, okay? And as Kat just mentioned, we also have Best Alliance. This is the alliance of 3 business schools in Asia, and BEST stands for the Beijing, Seoul, and Tokyo. And maybe good, but I think this naming is bad if you really want to appear on the top of the Google search, because there are so many best around the world. Anyway, so, and then the third layer of network is the GNAM. So currently, we have 32 schools joining GNAM. Maybe the number increased this year. So the GNAM schools, actually, this is not just a bilateral 2-school partnership or 3-school partnership. Because of the size of the network, we actually see many other opportunities or the actually opportunity to experiment the business school education. Okay, so one of the things we can offer through GNAM is Global Network Week. As Kaz explained, this is a 1-week intensive course offered almost everywhere in the world. So it's typically offered in March and October twice in a year. And ICS joins the March Global Network Week because we are very busy in October. Okay, it started in 2013, and I just joined from 2014. So this is actually 1-week intensive course everywhere in the world. So imagine in that particular week, you can choose a course from those selections. Okay, you can take a course in, for example, Sao Paulo, or you can take a course in Cape Town, South Africa, or Technion, Israel. Okay, so very unfortunately, the GMW 2019 March was canceled, but incoming GMW 2020 October 1 will be held online. But once this the COVID-19 circumstances become more stable, we are actually ready to get GMW back to the physical, not online. Okay, so another one is global network courses. You may have heard MOOC, massive open online courses. Okay, But GNC, Global Network courses, are not MOOC. It's actually SNOC, Small Network Online Courses. The biggest difference is MOOC is one-way lecture, but a SNOC is actually interactions between instructor and students, participants, okay? That means you actually have to adjust to the time zone where the course is actually offering. But this is something we believe that as something very special available for the ICS students and global network school students, okay? And because of this COVID-19 situation, the GNAM decided to expand the list of elective courses available for SNOC, GNC. So this year, the GNAM offered 31 elective courses offered by 20 different schools. And you also have an opportunity to join global virtual teams, okay? Basically, students from different schools have to work across borders. So this is actually the multi-party, multi-stage negotiation simulation. Okay, and this April, actually the 7 schools, EGADE in Spain, the ESMT in Berlin, ICS, HQUST in Hong Kong, IIMB in India, LBS in London, Yale in New Haven, US, actually joined this GBT negotiation simulation. Okay. And also GNAM offers many competitions, student competition. And this is just in that global network investment competition. And for this particular competition, the 24 teams all around the world joined, okay? And the top performance was actually achieved by Alpha team from Renmin University in China. And the big brothers from Yale actually ranked 2nd, okay? But if we look down, go down and down, Alpha babies from Hitotsubashi ICS is actually ranked 5th, okay? It's not 5th among 5. This is 5th among 24, okay? So next year, I expect to see our team ranked above, maybe around here, 1 or 2, okay? And the GNAM also offers a social media platform called TWIC. TWIC stands for the World is Campus. So students of GNAM partner schools actually can join this the TWIC the social platform to communicate with other students in the other world, in the other business schools. Okay, so here is a list of a unique opportunity available for ICS students. So if you join full-time MBA program, especially 2-year program, you can get all. You can get all. Okay. And even for 1-year program student, you can get most. Okay. Of course, you cannot, because you study only for 1 year, you cannot do double degree or exchange in the 2nd year, but you can get most of the unique courses. Okay. To emphasize how lucky you are, let me compare our full-time MBA with other program in ICS. EMBA, only 4 opportunities, and DBA, nothing, okay? Now you see how lucky you are. Now, so I basically talked about the GNAM, but since I'm in charge of data analytics, let me spend some time about something about data analytics. So in the past 2 to 3 years, ICS decided to increase more components related to data analytics, AI, and data science. And so in the term 1, 2, you are going to take quantitative business analytics. And in the past, actually people use, or students use Excel to analyze data, okay? But in the last 1 or 2 years, many top business schools start using Excel for data analytics and switch to more advanced software. So from this year, I decided start using Excel and switch to R. So everybody in class of 2020, you have to learn how to use the software R, which is the most advanced the data analytics software. Okay, I don't know if it's a good news or bad news for you. Okay, but I'm quite excited about this. And by doing this, I actually can cover more topics, especially the predictive analysis, hard topic like deep learning and tree models in a QBA required course. Okay, I'm teaching more another the elective courses, marketing research and analytics. Since I can cover more topics in QBA, I decided this year I actually focus more on the programming. And actually, this is another trend among the top business schools and teaching actually programming to business students. Okay, and also this is still under negotiation, but we actually thinking to offer another course. This is actually the mix of data analytics and strategy. And this is actually collaboration with a very famous company. I cannot disclose the name of the company. It is actually the very famous international IT consulting company. And we actually want to talk about the topics like how to promoting AI in business and management, or the difference between what is needed at business side and what is possible at data science side. Okay, this will be like a guest speaker session, many guest speaker sessions coming from consulting side or client side. Okay. Now, once you join the Hitotsubashi ICS, you cannot escape from the mafia. That's what you said yesterday, okay? Wherever you are, we gonna get you. So here is the one the situation. So among non-Japanese students, actually the half of the students actually get a job in Japan, and 30% go back to the home country, and 20% actually go to the different countries. Okay, and Yoshi actually going to explain more about alumni session. But once you graduate ICS, you can join the ICS Alumni Association. Now we have more than 1,000 members, and also we have a platform, alumni platform called the Hitotsubashi ICS Connect. Okay, and you can actually exchange information about job and our job opportunities, but our career service also put the post on this platform about job and internship opportunity. So you can actually access to our career service even after you graduate. And you can also join the Hitotsubashi University Alumni Association that actually have more than 30,000 members. Okay. And Hitotsubashi, the Alumni Association, Josui-kai, is very famous for tight bonding. It actually has a culture to help each other. That's the biggest difference from the Tokyo University. They are bureaucrats, but we are actually mostly from the private sector, have to help each other. Okay, so this is kind of the examples your senpai, so alumni, is now working for. You actually see they work for the many companies across the many industries. Okay, and showing the latest statistics about post-MBA opportunities. And that 1960%, okay, actually received offer or placed within 3 months of graduation. And actually 72% are placed in Japan. And 30% are placed in Japanese companies, and 64% are placed in the foreign or international companies. Okay, and actually 4% started their own business. And 51%, so about half of the alumni actually changed either country or function or industry, okay, they used to work before coming to ICS. And actually 30% changed all. So this is it. This is actually a brief summary of our MBA school. And it may be a good chance for us to have some Q&A, short Q&A session. If you have any question, you can raise your hand and ask. Any question I cannot answer, Yoshi will answer, so don't mind. Give me a hard questions.
Which I will forward to Shimo.
No?
Any questions?
And if you don't have any questions, or you can, of course, ask any question outside this foundation week and anywhere, anytime. And so if you don't have any question, I actually want to take a break now. Okay, it's gonna be 15 minutes, Kathleen, my boss.
Let's take 15 minutes. Yep.
Okay.
So 10:05.
Yeah, so from now to 10:05, we want to have a break. Okay, and after the break, we're gonna have a case session, MBA in Jeopardy. Okay, folks. So see you after 15 minutes.
See you around.
慎吾、
はいはい
ご指摘の方はいらっしゃらないので、
ですね。まずいですね。
花見ちゃんが直接電話をします。
まずいですね。初めての経験ですね。
ねえ。
2日連続、
2日連続。
欠席。
そう。Well, actually, I don't know if the guy knows that this is actually required course. So if he missed it, he cannot graduate within a year.
But we made that clear that they have to.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send a message to that person today.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah,
nothing's
it's very
wrong.
serious. He can't graduate.
Have we ever had anybody not attend for no reason, even one day?
Well, actually, we already know that the student coming from the Philippines have to attend mandatory pre-departure orientation at the Embassy of Japan. So they actually miss the 1 day, I guess.
But they told us about that too.
Yeah. So this is actually, and according to the academic policy, and if I decide it's legitimate, then they have no penalty, right? So.
So I
But,
think the case with the embassy is fine because they've told you about it and it's legitimate.
Yeah.
Hi, sorry to step in. I just called Zoha,
Yes.
and then actually the line was not working at all. この電話は使われておりません。So I sent email last night, yesterday, and still he hasn't got back to us. I will send it again, but I don't know what else that we can do.
Oh my dear, that's.
I don't know. It's kind of scary.
That's more serious than what I thought.
He's in Japan?
He's supposed to. He should be.
Yes, he's a Japanese resident.
Oh, okay.
Did he pay tuition on the New York King?
Yeah, I guess so.
I need to check with Toyoda-san about that.
Yeah. So you can get the information in detail from Toyoda-san.
Okay, yes, I will.
Information.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Shingo. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question. So well, it's not related to the talk earlier.
Whatever.
It's about the class schedule.
Mhm.
Is the class schedule put in the pre-matriculation module accurate, or rather, is it updated? Because I think I saw like a footnote saying that it could be changed. So I was just wondering.
For you mean T11 courses?
Yes.
Oh, it's actually fixed. It's
Okay.
fixed. So no actually difference from the one you actually saw on the pre-matriculation. So,
Okay. Okay, thank you. I will figure out my calendar so I don't miss a class because of time zone issue.
oh yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
Maybe you learned a lot from yesterday.
Yeah, I learned a lot of yesterday.
Good.
You just -1.
Yeah, I just -1. I know, but like
No.
I mean, I should just set up my Google Calendar correctly so that because my life is there. So I should just set up Google Calendar.
I know. What is bad about Google Calendar is it adjusts to the time zone. So when you actually you move to the foreign countries and put the your schedule, then you will see that after you coming back to your own country, it changes. Time changes.
Yeah.
So it's really, I don't know if it's maybe too advanced.
Yeah, it's like I want it to meld with my personal, so I'm opening my Google Calendar for ICS account, and then I want it to like reflect also on top of my personal account.
Yeah.
But because of the sharing restrictions, I can't share it with my personal Gmail. So I'm seeing like, okay, how do I because I do some volunteer work, as you know, and sometimes people ask for help and want
I know.
articles and stuff like that. So like sometimes, I don't want to make mistakes.
Good.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
Yeah.
Ashley, we only put the it's like a what we call a nen no tame, just in case, the subject to change, just in case something happens. Yeah.
And usually the latest one is available on your My MBA Canvas space, and it's going to be updated. And it's fixed now, but we also stay flexible, and we actually do some switching and rescheduling. For example, like, guest speakers are no longer available for this originally scheduled slot, and we want to be flexibly, like, the arranging, switching sessions and things like that. But the everyday schedule-wise, time schedule-wise, probably won't be changed.
Okay.
But some of the course sessions might be flipped, like, you know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's
Especially in term one, as Shingo said, all the courses are pretty much required. And so there's not going to be that much change, but there may be more changes as you are moving along the terms.
Right.
Right,
Okay.
more electives and intensive courses. So you might want to keep an eye on those updates that Shimo makes
Yes.
on My MBA.
On the very front page, in particular, there's a box right at the top.
Yeah. They usually put which version is those schedulers. So
I see. Okay. To be honest, Canvas UI is very confusing.
it just well, you get used to it.
Yeah, I think I'll get used to it. I mean, like, I kind of feel ashamed at the same time because I have technical background. So like, oh, I have to know this. I mean, I have to understand this, but but yeah, I will get used to it eventually, I hope.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, right, at the very beginning. But
it is.
Your eyes actually get used to it.
Okay, I will. I'm actually looking at it now and seeing if I can navigate correctly.
Good.
Thank you for the tips.
Oh, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Do you know if Eugene joined?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I cannot find her.
I saw her come in. Where she's now, I'm not sure, but yeah, I did see her come in.
Okay, but I actually don't see her now.
So sometimes people actually seem to disconnect totally and have to be readmitted after a break. That happens for some of the students. That happened yesterday too.
Oh, okay. So maybe I should create a breakout room just after the class starts. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Hi, Shingo.
Hi, Ken.
I saw there's a job hunting is one of the options that we can choose to do in the second year, right?
Which option? Can you say it again?
Job hunting.
Job hunting. Yeah, of course. Well, job hunting is actually, you cannot get credit from job hunting, you know. Even if you get into the very good companies, you cannot get any credit. Sorry, I'm joking. So go ahead, Kim.
So what should we do? So is that like a class or something like, or what should we do to do actually, with this kind of job hunting thing?
So once you actually come to ICS, the very first place you should go is actually our career service. So they actually interview you and listen to your what kind of the industries, companies you are interested in. They also assess the match your hope and also your the kind of the background and the capabilities. And they also give you a kind of the mock interview. So you actually can prepare for the job interview. And also they show you some internship opportunities. So if basically the job hunting is for job hunting, what you should do is contact with a career service at early stage. So you don't need to wait until your second year.
Oh, okay.
You know?
They have a session during the foundation week too.
Yes. Yeah. There's a session actually offered by Ken Kusunoki, our professor, and also the career service office.
Yeah,
so
Haruka.
You may get Haruka. So you may get more information.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
So Yoshi, I just found that during the break, some students actually leave the Zoom meeting.
Oh, they should stay.
Yeah, they should stay.
Yeah, for example, somebody's just returned right now. So.
So you might want to, do you want to explain?
Yeah, because I actually cannot prepare a breakout room.
Yes.
So maybe just turn the video camera off is
yes, I think you should make that as the default.
Video and sound off, and then reactivate when we start again.
Okay, is everybody back? When you're back, please put your name and activate your video so that we know that you're back. And Catherine, you might want to explain, or Shingo, you might want to explain.
Yeah.
You want to do so, Shingo?
During the break?
Yeah. I actually not sure if everybody comes back. So before the case session start, let me make an announcement. When you leave the session for break, please don't get out of the room. Please don't get out of the Zoom meeting. Just turn off your video and mic. Okay. The reason is sometimes we actually want to prepare a breakout room before the session starts. But if you are not logged in, you are actually not assigned to any of the breakout room. So please, when you leave in front of your camera, but just turn off mic and video, but stay in the room. Okay?
Is everybody okay?
Good.
Yes, great. Okay. All right, so let's kickstart the second half of this morning session, Hitotsubashi ICS Visionally by Design. And now I'm going to share my screen that we're going to have a case discussion on this issue. Okay, so now that everybody has prepared this case, it's called the MBA in Jeopardy. And this is what we are going to spend from now until a little bit before 11:30. And we will take the case discussion approach to this. Okay, now, so let me ask everybody that what's the situation here? That you all read in case A, and there's a protagonist whose names is are Irodor and Ubasco, and the situations are, anybody could explain what the situation is at the time of the case? Just quick summary of where we are in terms of the situation. Anyone?
They just finished.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Who are you?
Me, Ashley.
Ashley, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They just finished presenting to the panel on why they were, or rather they're part of the story after being labeled with the plagiarism accusation for their paper. So right now in the case, we're still waiting for the official response of the panel.
Right. Okay. So thank you, Ashley. And let's rewind a little bit, and then let's put us back a little bit earlier than the end of the case. And so this is the question that as you are reading that you might be wondering. And how did Irodo and Vasco get into the situation they are in the first place, right? And what went wrong? And as Irodo and Vasco, if you put yourself in the shoes of Irodo and Vasco, what would you want to communicate to the community standards panel? So let's rewind it. You are about to go meet the community standards panel. What do you want to get across? If you are, the one of these case protagonists. Prepare your opening and outline your remarks. Question 3, if you put yourself on the other end of the table as a member of the community standards panel, what would you want to clarify, right? Learn from Irodo and Vasco during their appearance before you. So if you take, if you do this perspective taking, if you put yourself in the shoes of Irodo and Vasco, how the picture would look, and if you put yourself in the shoes of the committee, like in a panel member, and how the situation would look. And now I would like to send you guys to the breakout rooms and then ask you to pick up these questions. So team 1, 2, 3, 4, please take care of the question 1. Actually, question 1 has to be taken care of by everybody. And just do the quick discussion and come up with the 3 reasons why that things happen. What do you think? What caused the situation? What are the top 3 reasons why the situation actually happened? And question 2 is, I would like you to put yourself in the shoes of Irodo. So team 1 and 2, please put yourself in the shoes of the Irodo, okay? And what is it that you want to get across? What is it that you want to emphasize as you are entering the room that you're going to be meeting the Community Standards Committee? Team 3 and 4, I would like you to put in the shoes of yourself in the shoes of the Vasco, and then come up with the top 3 things that you want to get across at this meeting. Team 5, 6, 7, don't worry about the question 2. I would like you to skip the question 2, jump from the question 1 to question 3. You guys are community standards panel. And so what are the 3 things that you want to ask Irodo and or Vasco as they are coming into your room? So I will give you 15 minutes for you to do the quick discussion. So don't spend too much time on the question 1. Maybe you might want to spending in a question 1 for 5 minutes. Maybe it's pretty clear cut probably that as far as you can reach the consensus what caused the problem, and then move on to question 2 or question 3, and maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that kind of the allocation of your time, and then please come back in 15 minutes, and then ready to share your voice from your team. Shingo, could you send them off to the breakout room for the 15 minutes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Shingo, could you also broadcast them that the PDF version of the slides is already available on Canvas, okay, and also Zoom chat that I just uploaded through the Zoom chat before we started.
I see.
Shingo, did you speak to Kenny?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Sorry, I actually haven't touched the session yet.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. I'm so slow.
Everyone, Lulu messaged me privately. She's saying that she will have a visit from the word office at 10:30. So she's asking if she can be offline from 10:25 to 10:50.
Word office for what?
I am not sure. She hasn't written any really detailed reasons. I will try to send a message to you, Shingo Sensei, or Catherine.
Yeah, it's too bad she's actually one of those 3 students who voted no to the violation of the standards. I was planning to postpone her. Maybe she sensed it.
Oh, that's uncanny.
Okay, I will ask her to send a message to
And now
Shingo Sensei.
David and Ine are the only ones that I could call for now. So E-E-N-E-E, how can we pronounce? Do you know?
Ini.
Ini? Okay.
I'm not sure if it has to be capitals though. I think we can probably put it in lowercase like
I think
Ashley.
so. Also Ashley too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in.
Yeah.
Sometimes this happens when we receive the file from the fifth floor admin office, and
you may want to ask them to be consistent.
I think we ask from time to time, but
yeah, I think we should, and then that stays until you remember that discussion that we had over email for the commencement diploma, and that stays throughout the year until the diploma, and then they put the capital letters, and I think we should. I think we should make it just as a standard practice.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know also, Shingo, that as you were doing that explanation about turn your camera off, don't leave Zoom, Eugene also came back to the meeting. I had to readmit her. So I just explained to her privately.
So it's a Murphy's Law, right? That who really should know are not usually there. So, so you should just repeat this message.
So I think she's aware now.
Yeah. Probably you should do this before the next break, I guess. So I'm thinking there is no break between this session and Term 1 electives. Should we just go on, or should I allocate at least like short break, like 5 minutes? If that's the case, I'll try to wrap it up by 11:25.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So, because
usually if there's an hour, we try to put something in there.
Right. So I'm shooting for maybe 11:25 finish.
Okay.
And 5-minute quick break.
Yeah.
And then 11:30, the Term 1 elective session is going to start.
Yes.
It's going to be just 30 minutes, but still.
No, I think just a little 5-minute break's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually supposed to have the Andrew to join.
Yes.
I think he said he was joining around 10:30.
Okay. Yeah. He said that.
Yeah.
So if you want to join any of the discussion room,
yes, please put me in anywhere.
Okay. Let's see. Let's assign you to my favorite number 4.
Why is that your favorite?
Oh, because I was born in April. So.
なるほど.
Please. Then could you put me into 5 so that I can talk to Lulu about the...
Okay, sure.
Thank you. I couldn't message her directly when she's in the breakout room.
Okay, so let me send you to the breakout room 5.
And could you leave me here?
Okay.
Because I'm having issue with my green thing, so I need to fix it before.
You want to fix it? Okay. Take your time.
Before I have to present.
Yeah, it's a bit naname at the moment, Aiko.
Oh, it's horrible. The thing came broken, so it's like that.
Oh no.
So I have to be
no.
literally like this. I don't know.
Oh gosh. So that means you have to sit on the ground.
Yeah. I
Oh.
know. I'll come to ICS, but it's been very difficult with the baby. So
That's
yeah.
completely
Yeah, sure.
fine. Just don't worry.
yeah.
Don't
So
worry.
let me. I'll be moving it. Okay. Don't let me distract you.
Oh, Hanami, you are back?
Yes, she's already offline. So I asked the member to text her and ask if she should talk to Shingo about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It became clear to me yesterday just what the students go through when everything's on Zoom all day. I actually felt quite fatigued by the end of that day.
Yeah.
I was surprised, actually.
Yeah. I actually wonder, is it if it's because it was day one, or we gonna have the same amount of fatigue every day? Or...
I guess we'll discover that as the week goes on.
Yes.
Every day will be like accumulated.
Oh, okay. Even worse and worse.
So I think it's good we have a break tomorrow.
But I can't really have a break because I have to use that day to mark all the writing assessments.
Yeah, but I think even just being off Zoom, that's like a break.
Yeah.
But it used to be longer, Aiko. The whole foundation week, it used to be a lot longer than this.
Yeah, but in person.
Because we had a Takao,
But then
just bang, 7 days in a row.
Time goes faster when you're in person, right?
Yeah.
When you're in person.
In prison?
It's like when you're live, when you are all in the same place.
Oh, I think I was thinking about this yesterday, why I felt fatigued, and I think I must get some kind of energy from interacting directly with people, and that helps keep your energy levels up.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe that's the good aspect of hybrid, even though supposedly it's more challenging than either live or 100% online. At least there will be some people there that you can interact with.
Yeah, I do prefer in person.
I much prefer in person.
Yeah. I remember in Charm 4, it was my first time actually to do my class 100% online. And actually, it's not biggest trouble, but the kind of trouble I face is whenever I say some stupid joke, I cannot hear any laughing from students. So it's actually quite discouraging for me.
Yes, the feedback is it's a different type of feedback, and you can't get as much information from it.
Yeah. So they still have 4 minutes to go.
Oh, Shingo, I'll also have to, I'm not quite sure logistically how to do it, but I think I need to set up within the Zoom session for academic affairs the poll questions for the citation plagiarism quiz.
Oh, okay, okay. If you send me the question and the alternatives, then I'm going to set up.
They're already there.
Oh no, okay, okay. The one I uploaded, then I'm actually going to summarize the result. So I know you did it last year, but
yes,
but I do it. So don't worry.
Ini left the meeting and came back.
Oh.
He didn't listen.
Ini, what happened to you?
Had a problem with my internet connection.
Naruhodo. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Must be that 2 degrees temperature in Mongolia.
Yeah.
But he seems to have good central heating. You look like he's just moving.
No, it's now 12. It's now 12. Good. Let me do it. Let me reassign you.
Shingo.
So
Shingo, EMBA Kaoru send me email, transfer email.
I'm sorry. I actually need to put the Ini to the room. So Ini, which one? Which room? Breakout room 2. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry for you waiting, Ayumi.
Hey.
I did.
Andrew is joining us Zoom session 11:30.
I think he's going to join us a bit earlier, Ayumi. He told us in email this morning that he intended to join from 10:30.
Oh, he didn't say the time.
Well, actually, we had a talk with him, and he told us he's gonna join around 10:30.
Okay.
But he said, he copied Kaoru in his message. I'm wondering why he did that.
Well, but after that, I actually had a Zoom meeting with him, and I actually confirmed it. And he said he won't show any slides, but just give the talk, some kind of sales pitch talk. Okay, so I mean, Kao said what?
Oh, the same email Catherine received.
Okay.
Yeah, he copied Kaoru to his message, but I'm not sure why.
Well, maybe just a mistake.
Maybe. Maybe Kaoru is wondering. And Lulu is back. Hanami.
Should I put so Lulu, which?
She was in team 5.
Okay. But actually time is up now.
Oh,
so
everybody's coming back.
Yeah. How about Yoshi?
I don't see him yet. I see his backup.
Yeah. What happened to Yoshi?
Oh, he's in one of the breakout rooms, so maybe he'll come
Oh
back.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
There he is.
That's right. I forgot about it.
I like Jin's background, the aurora.
Oh, let me check. Oh, that's actually a video background.
It's very nice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's more CPU. It's more CPU actually.
I don't think my laptop could cope with that.
Okay.
Shin is back also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we have everybody? No. Shingo, do we give 30 seconds or 60 seconds for them to come back?
60 seconds.
Okay. All right. So 1, 2, 4, 5. back. 6 is also now coming back. 7 is also coming back. That's 2 is here too. Waiting for team 3 to come back, I guess. Oh, 3 is back here.
Yeah.
Great.
Back
Okay,
now.
so it looks like everybody's back.
Yep.
All right. Let me share a screen. Okay. So now I'd like to ask, let's see. So what happened? Team 2, could somebody from team 2, could you just describe like in a situation and why that happened? Your response to the question 1 first.
Okay, so I'll speak for our group. So our discussion for question 1, how did they get into the situation? So top 3 reasons we came up with was the first was the negligence, because the school has stressed or emphasized many times during their foundation week that that they have to cite properly.
Yep.
The second reason was their international background, their unfamiliarity with the American standard. But that really wasn't an excuse, but I think that was a factor that gave a rise to the situation. And the third reason was their ignorance for American standard, that they didn't just pay enough attention.
All right. Okay, so hold on to that. You will just stay there. Team 4, anybody from team 4, could you add, are there anything you want to add in terms of the why that things happened the way that it did?
Yes, hello here. Can you hear me?
Who is it?
Coco.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. There's 3 reasons we found out is that the first thing is they have no attention. They paid no attention to the Harvard Business School citation standards. Even it is there already. They didn't read it thoroughly. And the second is because of their home country background. They took for granted of the citation traditions, and they are not teamed up with an American student.
Okay.
Yeah. In which way they could be like reminded by American students that the footnote is very important.
Yep.
Okay, the third thing is that they submit the paper really last minute, and they give no time for Professor David to discuss with them about it.
Okay, so there mismanagement of the scheduling as well.
Okay.
Okay, all right, team 6, anything to add? You don't have to repeat the things that has been already mentioned. If there's anything that you want to add from the team 6.
Actually, I think the conclusion we made is similar to it, like the lack of time. Yeah.
All right, great. All right, now I'd like to ask let's see. So who's representing from the team 2? Is Yi-Wei? Are you going to represent the team 2? So now, Yi-Wei, you are the Irodo, right? So as Irodo, could you please talk to the committee member who happens to be Tan? So let's do that. Go ahead.
Okay, so first I would like to come in with an apology that it was my negligence that caused this hassle that everyone has to go through. Second, I wanted to reinstate that my intention was not to plagiarize, because I did put the citation at the end for all of the paragraphs I quoted. It was just because of my ignorance for the American standard that I didn't quote it properly. And I do realize that I've made a mistake, and I'm willing to take a certain degree of penalty to show that I want to set a good example for future students for the college. Last, I want to end by offering some compensation upon the return of my penalty. I want to offer to hold a workshop or something like that to show the students how proper citations should be done in the future as a refresher, because it could be the case that a lot of students didn't take it seriously during their training or their foundation week as well. So yeah, so this is how I would present my statement.
Great. So community standard panel, Tan.
Sorry. So the first question is, why did you not read the handbook given to everyone during the foundation week? You know, it is a citation manner. Yeah.
It was just a very busy time, and we didn't have
just like today, just like yesterday.
Yeah, just like today.
Okay. So I want to know that your history, academic performance, like you have ever broken the rules, or how did you perform in this class? Like you take active participant in this class or not? Please share your attitude. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actively participating in the class, and my transcript showed that I'm a pretty decent student. I never committed any plagiarism before. I wasn't a superstar, but I was okay, I guess. Yeah. So so I did have pretty good grades in to graduate. So there is really no reason for me to put myself through this to you know.
Okay. And my last question is about, I know that there is a very important session wrote by yourself. So I want to know your research or discussion process. Yeah, but I think it's maybe difficult for you to answer.
It's just, sorry, I didn't really understand your question. Could you say that again?
Yes, I know that because the background session is copied and pasted, but there are still some session is very important, like the analysis session, and it was discussed. It was same in the original, so I want to know your discuss process and your research result. I want to know, is it valuable?
Yeah, so I was working with my teammate to work on the paper. We did the research and and we came up with the conclusion. So sorry, I was trying to find the paragraph in the case that talked about this.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
Any other questions from the team 6 to Hirado? Are you ready to come up with a conclusion? Okay, hold on to that, okay? I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Let's bring Vasco in the room, and then I want to ask somebody from the community panel, community standard panel from the team 7 to listen to Vasco's story. So who's representing team 7?
Viola.
Okay, Viola, okay, go ahead. So let's bring the Coco in the room. Thank you very much for waiting, Coco. Oh, no, Vasco, no. Sorry.
Vidit will stand for us.
Who? Vidit? Okay,
Vidit,
so Vidit,
yeah.
Thank you so much for your patience, Vasco. And please come in. And Viola is now ready to listen to your story. You need to unmute yourself. Vidit, you need to unmute yourself.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
So, good morning, panel member. So, I'd like to start with sincerely apologizing for the entire act that happened. And I would like to start by completely taking the responsibility for the incident. Also, at the same time, I'd also like to instate that this was an honest mistake and the entire scenario was unintentional and there was absolutely no intent of cheating and taking the credit for someone else's work. Having said that, I'd also like to instate that there was no intent for me to go for such a measure. As you can see from my grades, that although I was not a student who was aiming to become a scholar, but at the same time, my marks were not so low that I'd fall down to such measures to cheat in my education. At the same time, I'm not in a place in my life where I can afford actually to jeopardize my career, because for me, MBA was a program that was something to boost up my knowledge, boost up my career. I already was a professional in my life before coming to this particular point. So the educational aspect of aiming for higher marks was not something that was into the picture. So these are the two things that I want to instate before to strengthen my case. I'd sincerely like to apologize again, and I take complete responsibility for my action. But at the same time, I would like you to consider the fact that the entire action happened. And another point I would like to add over here, that there was another mistake from my end to presume that the the practices in my previous education system was something that can be replicated in this particular education system. And there was another mistake that from my side, I think I made was teaming up with Irodor, which was an act of staying inside my comfort zone and not exiting my comfort zone. I could have teamed up with an international student as well, which would have given me the opportunity to understand the structure of United States better. But because I preferred staying into my comfort zone, the entire scenario came out in such a way that the mistake took place. I'd really appreciate if the consideration of my apology if my apology can be considered further, and any action, any penalty beyond the scope of ending my career, if comes into picture, I'll be more than happy to do that and set an example for the coming resources, coming batches as well, so that everything goes well into picture.
Panel, please. Viola. We cannot hear you now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So our first question is that did you ever consult a friend from your class or the Professor David for your draft paper so that you can know more about the citation rules or the habits in the US?
So reinstating the fact that I was under the presumption that the ways in which my previous organization, my previous institution worked in terms of citation, I never really went out of the comfort zone to asking any of the professor or my teammate whether there are changes in rule or something. My focus, whenever I used to talk to David sir or any of my teammates, was more focused on how or what exactly I'm going to write into my paper, what exactly I need to research, what exactly needs to be put on for making it a better paper. But the fact of actually understanding how to make the format or how to abide by the rules of the institution never actually came to my mind because of the presumption I had. So I'd again like to apologize for that.
Yeah, so that my second follow-up question is that how much time did you spend on this paper so that it makes you leave so limited time on the formatting or the last minute submission so that lead to this mistake?
So panel member, actually what happened was the 3-month span that we were given to actually complete this paper, me and Irodor initially distributed the time span in such a manner that majority of the time was given to actually researching for the paper, talking to the experts, bringing in content from the entire world so that my paper becomes strengthened. And there was a very small segment of the time span of 3 months that we actually dedicated or we actually kept in the timetable to work on the citation section of the paper. Again, following back to the previous reason, because we were under the presumption that the way we used to do the citation is exactly the same, and the time that it took for us in our previous education system will be the same that can be replicated here as well.
Okay, thank you. So my last question is to justify whether our final judgment makes sense. So so what will you do if we given you the second chance? Will you do differently?
So if I'm given a second chance and if that is considered, first of all, I'll be extremely grateful for that. Secondly, continuing from there, this time the initial focus or the basic focus was also on the way I'll be formatting the paper, on the way that I'll be researching or conducting research. My intent or my entire focus initially for at least first 2 weeks will be given to the fact that I understand the knowledge, understand the way in which the system works, the system should work, and I should abide to the rules of the system. Post that, I now feel the entire structure which will be developed will become in a much more comprehensive manner. And to make sure that that happens, I'll keep on consulting to my professors and colleagues at a regular basis to make sure that nothing wrong happens next time.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of my question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, okay. Team 1, what is your take on the Team 2's approach? How different and how similar to what you guys have discussed, what the UA and Team 2 did as Irodo?
Hi.
Yep.
Did you mean
Taken.
that what is the different approach that we raised?
Yeah, you might have taken, or
Okay.
would you have taken the similar approach that Iwei did?
Maybe we team one add an additional perspective to show Irodo's past experience as his foreign students striving in U.S. society. So this caused his ignorance. This caused his lack of communication to the peer and his professor to review on their papers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. What about you, Team 3? How is your approach that you guys discussed in breakout room is similar and different to what Coco did by representing Team 4 as a Pascal?
Yes, this is Ben.
Yeah.
So
sorry. What the Vidit did, right? The Azavasco. Yeah.
I think Vidit did a great job, but personally, because the case is really against the two students in this case, Vasco. So because the school have gave us the paper and proper training, so I think that we would go. How should I say? I would emphasize that I understand and regret what I did. And any reason other than that is basically not really acceptable in this case. So, and I would want to do anything to make amends to this situation. Other than that, you did a really good job.
Okay. All right. Team 5, somebody from Team 5. Are there any other questions that you want to ask if you are the panel member? If you compare the list of questions to what the Team 6 and 7 have already asked. Team 5?
Hello, this is Charlie from Team 5.
Yeah.
I think we would ask similar questions, but I think if we add, I think we would ask them if they are really aware of what's going to happen if they violate this citation problem, because we want to know in advance they kind of how aware they are.
Okay, so let's ask them. Iwei, Vidit, could you answer to this question?
Sorry. Could you
Were you aware of the potential consequence? Is that a question, Charlie?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, I am aware of the potential consequence, except that I didn't willfully convict this crime of plagiarism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vasco?
So I'd like to tell the panel that I was very well aware about the consequences, but unfortunately for me, in my mind, this was a mistake that I did rather than something that I did intentionally. So unfortunately, I was not able to relate what I am doing to the consequences because for me, it was a mistake and not something that I did intentionally. If I would have known, if I would have not done that particular mistake for which I completely take the responsibility for, if I wouldn't have done that mistake, this situation would not have arisen. But at the same time, I knew the consequences, but I wasn't able to relate because I didn't know that I was doing something wrong at that time.
I see hands from Leandro. Leandro, go ahead.
Yeah, to add to what Yue said, in group 2, we wanted to show that we really knew what can happen if we violated the standards, that we can get suspended or we can get expelled, right? But we wanted to show that we didn't have malicious intent in our action because we actually put in the bibliography. We were really just lazy and careless and didn't know the community standards, right? So we wanted to really bargain for a lower punishment because, and by showing that we didn't have malicious intent in passing off another work as our own. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Are there anything else that anybody else wants to clarify or ask or support? Either Irodo and Vasco. Winalda? Zunato from Team 5. Say it again. So, assuming like the problem with the citations were due to Irodor and Vasco's backgrounds as international students, which we have also already clarified with another person also from their home country. What I want to ask is that why were there sections of the paper that were copied verbatim from the sources? I'm quite sure that even during undergraduate, it is something that should be understood by all students, that just copying entire sections without changing them in any way is not acceptable. So why did you guys decide to do this? Who are you asking? Both of them? Both of them, yes. Okay. Even undergrad kids know about this, and why you guys are using this culture as a reasons. Yes. Even if we were to put the citation problem aside, right? What's the problem of copying entire sections, right? Right. Is it a pretty universal? Yes. Standard of practice. In addition, Harvard gives lectures on every incoming students on how to not do this, right? So why did this still happen? That's what I want to ask. All right. Anybody from team 1, 2, 3, 4? I see Coco. Yeah, Coco, go ahead.
Yes. I mean, what you said, and they didn't do it intentionally because they did cite it in the bibliography. It's just a format that is not suit and match with the standards of Harvard Business School. It's not that they didn't cite it at all. They cited it, but with a wrong format. That is what I mean. Okay. And I think Vasco should defend.
So your point is they thought they did.
They thought they did, and they
thought they did
without their intention.
But not in the way that Harvard is asking them to do.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
All right. Winalda, are you happy? You don't look happy. It still doesn't explain why they did not at least choose to change the text at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to add as a Team 5 member.
Yes.
Yeah, because we also discussed that even in their home countries, citation is it does not make up more than 15%. So I think what they did will be, it will be recognized as violation even in their home country.
Even in their home country.
Yes, yes, that's what we are talking about.
All right, Ben, I see your hand.
Okay, my team is Vasco, so I would like to make a point.
Defend.
Yes. Because first of all, our background is in IT, and as you can see in the paper, the places that we allegedly copy was required was actually fact, but not really our what we want to say. So from a technical background, we think that facts facts will be facts, and it is not our opportunity, our opinion or anything.
So what's wrong with copying?
We believe that copy is appropriate within a certain percentage.
As far as there's a fact out there, what's wrong with copying the stuff?
And it is just date and number, so it is not a problem, I think.
Yeah, and the Picasso, is that a Picasso that who said the good artist copy, great artist steal?
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that, team 5, 6, and 7?
I mean, it just sounds like just excuse. It doesn't really. I think it's not really stated in, at least in their home countries, citation rules and Harvard rules. As long as we have a rule, we have to play. Along with the rules. And now, if we violate, I think it's about how we violate it. But this argument is more like about, oh no, it must be okay because it's fact. So factual stuff is okay to cite, without citation. It sounds like this. So if that's the case, I don't think it's really a nice argument for this as a defense.
So you don't want to go to that route.
Yes.
Okay. But what about, like, there has been mentioned already a couple of times that they just were not even aware of. I mean, they just didn't know that the standard is actually there as a Harvard, which happens to be different from what they used to know from their country.
I think this was. Oh, sorry, Charlie. Go ahead.
Ashley and then
sorry.
Charlie.
Go ahead. Sorry, Ashley. Go ahead.
Thank you, Charlie. I think this was also mentioned by our team in terms of whether it was a haphazard way to do about the paper. For example, if they took the time to craft their message and then maybe had it reviewed by the professor or maybe even reviewed by a friend, then maybe issues like this would have come up sooner before the due date. And so on top of all the, although it is valid that they wanted to give honors to the facts, like they did not want the facts to be muddled, and so that's why they copy pasted it. But more than half of the sections of the whole paper have these in verbatim citations.
Right.
So there's like a huge chunk to use to set the context of the paper. So I suppose what is now put into question is, I suppose, the time that they decided to put into the paper and to have it checked. So
there are a bunch of things that could have been done by actually different players in here, right? And there are other things that could have been done differently by like a bunch of people who have been involved in this process to avoid that situation from happening. And so we'll come back to this issue, like, whose fault is this? Like, the who should have done differently in order for them as the community to prevent from happening. That's the question that we will come back to this. But before we do that, what's your decision now as the panel, as a community standard panel? What's your decision? So Team 5, what's your decision? Who was that, the Team 5? Who was representing Team 5?
Winarda, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Winarda, so what's the decision?
Okay, so on one hand, it was their lack of preparation and negligence that got them to this point.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we've also did background checks and decided that these two students are, they most likely didn't do this intentionally. And that they show promise to reform themselves if given a chance.
Yeah.
With these reasons in mind, we've decided to give them a probation. Along with a mandate to attend another citation workshop to prevent this.
Okay. All right. Okay. Team 6. What's your decision? Whoever is representing Team 6. Yep.
I will continue to say it. I think probation or suspicion it is better because I think the cultural background differences is fact. So I think it's better for them to learn the things that's not this.
So probation or suspension, but the Tantan in your online poll you said suspension. So you're getting a little little softer now based on what you guys just have discussed. What made you softer?
Because after discussion, I know the differences are really indeed. So I want to give them the chance. It's important to learn from it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're getting a little nicer here, huh?
Yeah. And Iwei gave me a very good attitude, and she also put herself in the paper writing. So
they did a great job.
Yeah.
So they did a great job.
So. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And Team 7, Viola, what's your decision?
Yeah, thank you. I think our team will go for suspension.
Suspension.
Yes, and we think they really did plagiarize, and then this is a fact. And despite the background difference and the their old habits, and this is the fact that they really did commit this crime.
Okay.
And then, but we want to choose the less harmful like punishment for that category because suspension is the least harmful one compared to dismissal or expel. So we want to give them a second chance in regard of their like quite honest explanation.
So honesty.
Yeah, the honesty.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the online poll results. We as a class decided. So majority of you said they did violate the community standards, and they are pretty big distribution of like how strict that we want to go in terms of the sanctions. So Viola, how easy or difficult it is for you to decide this sanction on this case, in your opinion?
I do struggle a bit between suspension and a lighter like punishment, for example, warning or probation.
Yeah.
But in regard that they really did plagiarism, and this is a true violation of the standard. So I think this cannot be denied. So
okay. So that part is pretty clear, but what sanctions you're going to give is pretty difficult to determine. Tan, what's your take on this?
I think it's most important thing is to define whether they cheat in the paper or not, and you will decide whether the sanction will have to take. So from all the things, I cannot say that they cheat intentionally. So
okay. Yeah. So now the issue is like whether or not they knew it and whether or not they intended, and all of these stuff is going to come in to the discussion, and then we as a community have to come up with our community's decision on this, which reflects on what we think and then how we think and how we approach these like community standards issue, right? Let's take a look at what actually happened to Irodol and Vasco. There are B case and C case, which I would like you to do the quick read. And Shingo, could you share with the class the B case and C case link so that they could take a quick look?
So I'm going to put 2 links. Each one correspond to different the file.
Yes.
Since you haven't purchased a file, you actually cannot download it. Okay, and you can actually purchase those cases after this session. After this session, you can, if you access the Harvard Business course link, then you actually find them over there. Okay, let me do it.
Please do purchase the case. And otherwise, we as an ICS are going to be in trouble of exactly what we're discussing right now. They know how many students are enrolled in this class, and they know how many copies that we purchased digitally. And now we are sharing this digitally with all of you because we're using this in class with the promise that the students are going to purchase after class. And so B case and C case. B case, please read the first 2 pages, and you can read the exhibits after later after the session. And just first 2 pages of the B case, and then jump on to the C case, please. Let's take next 5 minutes to do this. If you finish reading, please put the raise hands button on the Zoom so that we know you're done. When you're done, please raise your hands on Zoom. B case, you only need to read the first 2 pages. Great. I'll just give you maybe 1 more minute. My guess is most of you are now reading the C case by now, and everybody done with the B case. Yeah? Looks like about 1/3 of the class have finished both B case and C case. Are there anyone who haven't finished the B case?
Yes, San, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time.
You're having the connection problem, right?
Yeah.
But but looks like that's the just your unique case.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
I'll try to reload.
Yeah. So allow us to move on. And so looks like everybody have at least read the B case by now. And so now the question is, this is a Harvard Business School case, but it could, very well happen to anywhere else, right? In terms of institution. And then the follow-up question that I would like you to think about is how we as a community are going to approach this situation like this, or are there anything that we as a community could do so that we could prevent this kind of this situation from happening? And it's going to be covered by the academic affairs session later in the foundation week in terms of the academic policy, honor code, and all of these. And this session is basically giving you the background of this. And you're going to be asked to sign the honor code, and then also to sign the entire academic policy. And so that you are telling to the community that you have read this and you have known this, and these are the rules and that we agreed to comply with. And now the question for you today is, what is your own takeaway from this MBA in Jeopardy? Specifically, what would be the one thing that you would keep in mind from this case discussion as you are studying your MBA journey at the Hitotsubashi ICS? For this one, I would like to send you to a smaller breakout room, just a pair of the 2 students. And Shingo, let's make this pretty quick, 3-minute breakout room. And I would like each of them to just share their takeaway, just one thing to each other, and then come back after 3 minutes.
Okay.
So this is just a pair.
Okay, 3 minutes. Because of the Zoom system, I also have to send the staff and the instructor to some of the rooms. So
sure, they can discuss too.
Yeah, they can discuss, or just coming back immediately. Yeah. Okay, let me open the rooms. Chris, what happened to you? What happened to you? You logged off once?
Hey, hi. There's something wrong with my file.
So okay. So you disconnected, not so assigned to any of the room, and well, we can discuss with us, but we actually haven't prepared enough for this test session. So maybe you can, the comment your opinion. Sorry for the missing you to put any of the breakout room. No room is actually available now.
Lulu here.
Lulu, is she coming back?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. Hello.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me?
Sure. So are you now connecting through the phone or?
Yeah, phone actually. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, no problem. I actually let the reason, and I think it's pretty legitimate. So don't worry.
So Kai just joined.
Whoa, what happened to Kai? What happened to you?
You mean the reason?
Oh, sorry. Oh, no. I'm talking to Kai. Sorry, Lulu. Lulu, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. The connection seems not very good.
Okay. So as I just said, your reason is quite legitimate. So I think it's quite reasonable for you to leave because of that reason. So don't worry. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for your understanding.
Of course.
How is Kai here?
What happened to you, Kai?
Hi. Sorry, I just went through a small surgery the other day, so I keep the camera shut down these days.
Oh my dear.
Minor surgery, minor.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now it's actually the room is closed, so everybody is coming back.
Welcome back, everybody. We're still waiting for maybe, 10 more students, I think. 15 more seconds, and then we're going to kickstart. Great. So looks like everybody's back now. Are there anything that you found, something completely new from what you have been thinking from your partner? Or is it pretty much expected? June, what about you? Team one, June, John?
Hi, this is June.
Yep.
It was kind of what we expected. I was paired with the Ine from Team 2. And what we, talked about is intentions don't really matter. The result is important in any country. And we think that it also fits into our ICS years.
Yep.
And also another thing we talked about is we learned is we have to be open to our peers and also to the faculty. If we have any difficulties or any questions, we have to feel free to ask them. Not to be so shy and be involved in class. It's not an excuse to be an outsider.
That's also something that we also learned from the zombie yesterday, right? you better ask for help. And if you're not sure, you better ask around, and so that you could crowdsource, like, these insights and wisdom, right? So that we could learn together, and then we could complete this program together, right? And let's see, Neil, did you get the chance to get hold of the what actually happened or not? Not yet.
Not yet, but
not yet. Okay.
I think Ben gave me some.
I'll give you summarize. Okay. All right.
Of course, there's been a violation for both students, and of course, they should have consulted to their professor.
Yeah. So the question is, what's your own takeaway then?
My takeaway is you have to be knowledgeable of the of before entering a school. You have to be knowledgeable about the standards and everything that the university, about the rules, the conditions, and you have to abide from them. You have the student handbook. You have to browse or not. Maybe if you cannot read thoroughly, just look at the points.
Yeah, and then also, like, as you have just read in the B case and C case, now, Neil, that you are catching up to this, is at the Harvard as well as at the ICS, usually the fact that you did not know cannot really be used as a reason for whatever that happened. And because usually those information has been provided, is actually exactly what we're doing right now, as we are talking right now in real time. And then also, like, your intention is pretty difficult to defend after the fact, because you could come up with any kind of story after the fact. And so it's very difficult to get that across. And so probably the best way to approach this is to think about how best to prevent, right? How best that you're not going to be putting yourself into this kind of situation. What do you think you could do? And so I would just, leave that question to you to think over, like, tomorrow, like, we have one day off here. And then when we come back, day 4 and day 5, we're going to be continuing this discussion, especially when we are discussing our academic policy. Academic policy actually does actually explain the steps that we're going to be taking at the ICS, which is similar to HBS, but we have our own version of it, and we're going to be discussing that as part of the academic policy, academic affairs session on, I think it's day 5, I think. And for the rest of the time that we have for the next 10 minutes or so, because we also want to take a quick break before the term 1 elective course, introduction. If you step back and look at this plagiarism, right, as an issue, and then the broader, if you take the broader perspective to this, that we are discussing for the last hour and a half or so, of what we include as part of our values, community values, which is academic integrity. And plagiarism is part of it. And violating it, basically, you are indicating that your academic dishonesty. And so plagiarism is, what is it? And there is the website called plagiarism.org, which is actually sponsored by the Turnitin, which we do use in this in this community at this institution as well. And the dictionary definition of the plagiarism is basically to steal and pass off somebody else's work, and then present it as if it is your own work. And so that happens when you are doing this without any citing, without any quoting. And there are some technicalities involved into this, and which you could refer to citation guide. And then also we do offer the session as part of the intensive writing, Catherine, right? To all the students to take that particular session of the intensive writing. So even if you're not going to be enrolled in the intensive writing, you are going to be asked, you're going to be required to attend that one particular session of the intensive writing, which will give you the specific details of the citation of that we want all of you to follow. And so you could avoid getting into the situation of the Irodo and Vasco. Oh, by the way, big hands to Iway and Vidit for a great job that they did as Irodo and Vasco. They have been sweating a lot this morning. And whereas the panel, like, standard community standard panel has been like, they are relaxing and then asking these tough questions to them, but they have been doing a great job of like, doing this, the case discussion in here. But the point here is how we all can approach this so that we all are going to prevent from any kind of these stuff to be happening, during the academic year 2020-2021. And as we are sort of like, taking off from this discussion, and I just wanted to ask you to think about like plagiarism and or academic dishonesty, they largely put, why do we need to care? Who cares here? What's at stake if we are going to be just leaving this plagiarism or academic dishonesty to be just like, to keep happening in the institution? And what kind of problem are we sort of like inviting here? So who should care? Why do we care? What's at the stake here? What do you think, Lorraine?
My personal take on this is that everyone should care, because like an idea is like a craft and a very personal one and should be respected. And that's why we should recognize who actually whose idea is it, and kind of attribute the credits to the owner, or who really gave the idea or who brought it into fruition. So I think that's why it's really important for in the academic setup to put the credit where it is due.
Especially in an academic setting, but also in the professional setting, that we should give the proper credit to who, the person who originally come up with this intellectual, the insight and property, as we now call it, right? Because that's the whole essence and engines of the innovation, and then also the engines of the whatever that we do as a business. And also we do run as the world economy, right? And that's the whole essence of what we do as the professional individual, as well as a professional institution, and then also a professional community here. So if you do not to follow this, then you are basically showing to the world that you yourself are not respecting what we all agree to respect as an individual. But if you do this, you're also putting a lot of people around you at the risk as well. Our reputation as the program, our reputation as a school, our reputation as a university, our reputation as just as the academic community. And so that's why, as you saw in this case, that a lot of people being involved once issue arises, and because this is actually the matter for everybody, as Roland, as you have just said at the very beginning of your comments, and that everybody should care, not just the one, the some small group of particular people, their responsibility. It's actually everybody's responsibility as the community here. And so once again, for technical details and further details going to be picked up later on this Foundation Week, as well as throughout the Term 1. And Catherine is going to be talking about these stuff that we do employ as an institution. So HBase citation guide is the one that we share with the students. And then we ask the students to follow the citation guide. And there are a bunch of details there on how to cite and how to quote things in the website, what about the website, what about the YouTube video, and these days. And we as an institution, we use Turnitin. So I'm pretty sure that many of you have used before. But when you submit, the Turnitin is the crowdsourced, like an AI-enabled detection, plagiarism detection service that they are all the academic institutions around the world is using it now. So as soon as you submit, it will detect like in which part of your paper that you submit is actually coming from which sources. And as far as you quote and then cite, you're in the good shape. If you're not, then you're gonna be in the shoes of the Irodo and Vasco. And there's gonna be the D case, E case, F case that you don't wanna be showing up as a protagonist there, right? So we just wanted to share with you here at the very end of this session. Okay, so this is it for this part of the day 2 program. But again, this is just the background, sort of like, the shared sort of background on which that we're gonna be putting further specific building blocks onto this. And by the end of the foundation week, you are expected to be well-rounded and then also the well-informed on all of these, the importance of this academic integrity as a person and also as an institution, as a community. All right, so let's take 5 minutes break. And again, do not leave Zoom, stay on Zoom. You just shut off your video and the microphone. And then when you come back, just activate your video and microphone, and we're gonna kickstart at 11:30. Thank you, guys. Andrew, thank you very much for joining.
Great to see you, and
great to see you
again.
Great.
I sat in with the pair. It was great. I shared with them about Turnitin, my own experience with Turnitin. I was searching for an article that I wrote, and I said, oh, what if I submit this to Turnitin? And Turnitin caught my own, that I was plagiarizing from myself.
Yeah, self-plagiarizing.
Exactly.
That's possible to do, Andrew. You can self-plagiarize.
Yeah,
it catches everything. It catches lyrics from songs. I mean,
yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Because now the moment that you put anywhere on the world is going to be digitized and it becomes a part of this their database that they have. So,
so perfect case.
That's where the second pair of eyes comes in handy to just. Sometimes students get alarmed depending on the assignment.
Yes.
High percentage of similarity, but sometimes it's completely fine.
Yes.
Situation.
And and this was actually a real story. Right before I started MBA program, and so they decided to put all the past exams and anything that the students can refer are now kept at the library, and they have to go to that physically have to go to meet the people in the library who could give the guidance on the citation and reference and all of this stuff. So Aiko and Catherine, who is somebody's going to MC this T1 elective course session?
I had Aiko, but
because she's presenting the JBE stuff.
Aiko-san is now calling with Haruka-san, so I think she's not listening right now.
Yeah, I can just go ahead and introduce the course, and there's no JL, right?
No JL. I just make an announcement about.
Yeah. So Aiko, I'll just go maybe first 5 minutes, and then next 5 minutes that you can talk about the procedure or any questions that students may have.
So you're gonna present the class?
JB2, JB3 together. and just go quickly, and then you can talk about what you added on where they should look at, and then they need to complete this questionnaire, right?
Okay.
Yep. And then Andrew, there's no Japanese language presentation, so you could just go ahead next 10 minutes after Icon myself. And then Shimo is going to explain Term 1 elective course application of Dropat, right? Registration process.
Yes, just give me 5 minutes.
Yeah. Looks like everybody start coming back. So when you come back, please activate your video again so that we know you're back. Great. So the next 30 minutes, what we would like to do is to introduce, as Shingo mentioned, in Term 1, we only have 3 elective courses, and we would like to do the quick presentation of introducing those courses to you, and so that you could decide if you want to apply for those elective courses or not. And those are Japanese Business Economy 2 or 3. We combine this as one course. And there's actually 2 courses technically, but they go hand in hand. And then the second one is Japanese language, which we do not have any presentation of Japanese language. It's pretty self-explanatory on Canvas. And then also Shingo has just put the announcement on it. And then, so after 10 minutes on JBE to JBE 3, Andrew Silverman, who has just joined and who has been actually enjoying our case discussion on MBA and Jeopardy case for the last 30 plus minutes or so, is going to be presenting his course on presentation skills. And then at the end, Shimo of the MBA office is going to explain what you need to do as a step to register yourself for these elective courses. So JBE2 and JBE3. So there's a course called the JBE1, as the Shingo mentioned, the Japanese Business and Economy, which is going to be offered in Term 1-1, which is a required course. And so Japanese Business Economy is a required course, which we all do just as the other regular courses. We meet like in 11 times, and then plus final presentation session during Term 1-1. But the JBE2, JBE3, this is the first ever a course, credit earning course, we are offering as an ICS, first time in Japanese. And there has not been any courses being offered which has been taught in Japanese, except for the Japanese language course, of course. And but in terms of the regular courses, this is the first ever. So we are making a history here. And we figure that we do need to provide this official support as part of the curriculum for those of you who are serious about your starting your post-MBA career in Japan. And until the year 2 years ago, we have left it to each individual student's own effort to do that, the work to do that effort on, they are working on improving their not just language but the business acumen, the knowledge and then also insights to the level that you will be perfectly professionally function in the Japanese business community. So we are aiming at to be helpful for the students who are already at the fairly high level in terms of the language skills. So we're expecting the students who already have the JLPT N1 or equivalent. So if you're interested but do not have the N1, we have the placement test that we want you to go through. In class size, we're limiting this to the small, so 10 to 15, and priority goes to the second year students. But this year, there are still some seats there, and so we're opening up for the first year students. JB2 is more on the essentials. JB3 is more of the immersions. So JB2, we cover like in a business manner, emails, resume, presentation skills in Japanese and things like that. And JB3 is immersion that we as an ICS faculty member show up and we run 2-hour version of what we teach in our full-time MBA program, and then squished it and deliver that in Japanese in 2 hours. And this is what we typically do in our executive education setting. So we simulate that what if you are getting a job at the business in Japan, either Japanese organizations or non-Japanese businesses in Japan, but maybe first couple months that you're going to go through like a training programs, and then chances are that maybe you get to see us there. And so we simulate this, and then we run these sessions as if we run in an executive education setting. And then this is followed by internship in Japanese. And it's going to be, this year is going to be remote, but your client or sponsoring internship company is going to be in Tokushima Ken. And we intentionally doing this in a local, the part of the Japan, so that you have to speak Japanese, you have to immerse yourself. And you have no way out of they are relying on an English because they don't speak English. So that's what we do, JB2 and JB3. And you can take a look at these, the schedule details and the grade details, which points that you can get for which part of the assignment. And all of these details are going to be on the PowerPoint slides, which we're going to be sharing PDF version of it. But basically, this is the learning by doing course. So make big mistakes early. The more mistakes you make in this course, the better, so that you're not going to be making that mistakes in the real world. And we're getting together to make big mistakes together. So some scenes from the last year's JB2, JB3. Last year, we actually experimented this as a non-credit course. So this year is the first time for us to offer as a credit course. So we started in JB2, this essentials. We do this the self-introduction, and you stand up before the class and you do the self-introduction in Japanese. And then also we have the Japanese language advanced level courses as part of the JBE2. JB3, us appearing right now is online, and hopefully that we can do this in a face-to-face too. And we do this things in Japanese. As you can see, all these slides in Japanese you have never seen in our regular classroom setting. And this is Tom Ito, the corporate finance professor, and myself, doing what the weather forecast of Tenkyoho no Oji-san basically doing in front of a digital studio. And so that we are pointing out this Shihon Kosei, right, the capital structure, in a graph that you see in MBA courses. And by the time that you're taking all these sessions, you have already done these courses as part of the regular curriculum. But now you have the opportunity to have us in Japanese speaking setting. And so probably this is the only time that for us to be speaking Japanese in front of you. And so we want to show off how greatly that we can speak Japanese. But this is an opportunity for us to interact in non-regular ICS settings. So this also brings us a lot of fun. Aiko, please follow up with your specific details, specific steps that they need to take.
We'll just add before that this course was co-designed by students, faculty, and the career.
Oh, yes.
So it was actually students that initiated this conversation and said that this was kind of like a need that we had to fill. And so by the end of this course, you should be able to pitch yourself in Japanese, do interviews and meetings in Japanese, and increase your business vocabulary. So really just fluent in communicating in business Japanese. So for those who are interested in applying, they should just go to Canvas and to today's session.
Or you stay here.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
And then you can just go there, and then at the bottom you can see there's a link. There's a questionnaire that you have to fill in by this Sunday. And then for those who don't have JLPT N1, there is the placement test on September 23rd at 4 p.m. So please, if you're interested, fill in the questionnaire before this Sunday midnight. And if you have any questions regarding the class, you can email me or you can chat me here on Zoom.
Thank you, Aiko. I mean, thank you very much for bringing this up. Yes, this course was originated from students' suggestions, students' feedback to the program. So we, as an MBA program, as Shingo mentioned earlier, we try to build and improve our program together with the students. So we always try to listen. And from time to time, we do ask, for every term, we do ask the feedback for each courses. And then also halfway through, and then also at the end of the year, we do ask you to provide us the feedback as a program. And then a lot of new things that we are doing every year are originated from those feedback that we got from the students. And this is one of the things the class of 2018 approached us to consider doing this as an institution. And then we decided to experiment last year, and then it worked out, and then we improved even further, and now we're offering this as the credit earning course. So, so this is JBE2 and JBE3. So once again, as if you're interested, if you have any questions, please do approach Aiko and then also myself.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yeah, Hantao. Yep.
I just wanted to ask, is this necessary to take JBE2 in order to take JBE3?
Priority goes to students who can take both, but if there are still seats, we may allocate those seats to those students who can only take either one.
Thank you.
Yep.
However, please do mind that JBE3 has the internship component, and
Yep.
that will be in March for 1 week. So you have to make sure to leave your calendar open for that.
Right, that's during your spring break, after GNW, after Global Network Week.
Any other questions?
I just want to make sure that this course is kind of designed for international students only, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just because the internship just seems really attractive. So yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
it's for primarily for the non-Japanese students. Although from session by session, we may let the Japanese native speakers to sit in on some of the sessions, but not to take the course.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
And I see Coco's message. The quiz will be available on Canvas from noon. So as this session is over.
The questionnaire?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. During a lunch break.
Hey, so for those students who don't have like N1 proficiency and aren't really that comfortable speaking Japanese, is there a way like we can maybe be observers into this class? Like I don't think I can participate in this class, but then I want to maybe get a feel for it. Is that something that's possible?
We do typically do this kind of like, the extending invitation to non-enrolled students whenever we have guest speakers, for example, or some special sessions, not like on regular basis, which is more going into the category of auditing, which we do not do as an institution. So maybe we can talk about this as part of the academic affairs session later in the week. But thank you very much for your question, though, Leandro. Okay, so let's move on. If you have any further questions, please do let us know. But now that we like to cover Andrew's presentation skills.
Over to me?
Yeah.
Great. So we don't need a screen anymore. Please, if we could stop sharing and jump so that people can see who is speaking. Hello, everybody. My name's Andrew, and I will
sorry, Andrew. For anybody, now Andrew is speaking. If you want to see him, you could choose your Zoom. There's top right corner. You can choose either gallery view or speaker view. If you can do the speaker view, you can see the Andrew right in front of you.
Yoshi, maybe you should stop your screen sharing too.
Oh,
right. So then I can see the gallery. There we go. Wow, all the beautiful students. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you. So welcome, everybody. I wanted to see a quick show of hands. How many of you have received and enjoyed some formal presentations training? So just raise your hand up if you have received and enjoyed some formal presentations training. So I see about only 3 or 4 hands. That's the norm. So I hope that you who have had some formal presentations training enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Yes, yes, all right. Hantao, can you give me one quick comment about how that presentations training helped you? Hantao, unmute and tell me what it is that you enjoyed.
It calms me down after I take the session when I step on the stage, because I know what to expect and I can handle the relationship between me and the audience.
Excellent, excellent. So what Han Tao said, it helped calm him down. In our course, which is an elective course this year, I will be providing you some skills. So I would say tools, tips, and techniques to improve your presentations. But before we even mention about presentations, think about in business and in your business program here, how often you are going to be giving a presentation. Because it's more than you think. Today's case discussion that you were doing, each one of you who spoke, you were actually presenting. You were presenting your ideas. Sometimes you were defending ideas. Sometimes you're asking questions. But in all cases, you were presenting yourself. So in these 10 minutes or so, actually less, because I want to give you a chance to ask questions if you have them, I want to cover what I cover in all of my presentations, training, and coaching. And that is the 3 V's. So verbal, vocal, and visual elements of presenting. I do this for the executive MBAs in a coaching format. We'll do it here in an elective course format that will include some coaching. And then I do it professionally with executives, managers on a daily basis, people who are presenting for their work. So what do I mean by the 3 V's? Verbal, vocal, visual. Verbal. These are the words that you say when you're communicating. We focus specifically on keeping your verbal message simple, easy to understand, easy to follow, easy to remember. This is often harder than it sounds, especially for MBA students as you're going through and learning new concepts. You want to show what you know. We tend to sometimes over communicate using bigger words than we need to use. So keeping it short and simple is all about the verbal. We also look at your structure, how you structure a message, using things like the power of 3, all kinds of things to help you get a simple, clear message on the verbal side. This is often the things that you write down. If you're giving a formal presentation, you might write out a script. So this is that part of your presentation, what you're writing, the order that you're speaking, what you're going to emphasize. That's all on the verbal. Then we look at vocal. So vocal is how you sound. How many of you play an instrument? Any musical instrument? Raise your hand if you play a musical instrument. Okay, about the same number who've had presentations training, but different people, I believe. That's great. So a musical instrument, you know what you can communicate when you're playing that instrument. But what we're going to be playing with is the most important musical instrument you have, your voice. So we're going to help you to improve the resonance of your voice, the way you use your voice to emphasize points and communicate your passion, your energy, but also your thoughtfulness, your willingness to penetrate deep into material. So we're going to focus on that for the vocal element. That means the tone of voice, the pace you speak at, the volume you use, those kind of things we look at in this course. And then finally, the visual element. And I understand the plan is that my course will be your first course in person. So the first set of courses you're going to be taking are all like this on Zoom. The plan is for now that my course will be starting using the classroom again. And if so, it's a great opportunity for you to be even more prepared for that type of environment. But also, we will be presenting the way we used to call normal. The new normal is using Zoom a lot. So if we are forced to go into the Zoom way, we will do that as well, and we'll talk about using visual aids in that way. But just like with the Zoom world, in the real world, in the classroom, visual aids, what your audience sees, often actually act as visual hindrances or visual obstacles. How many times have you seen a presentation where a slide is filled with text, but the speaker is saying something else? And when that happens, when the slide is saying one thing, but the speaker is saying something else, there's not much of a message getting through to your audience. So the goal with these three elements, the vocal, the vocal, and the visual, is helping you present your ideas better, more effectively, with greater impact. You could consider this course a meta course. So it's a course of courses, because you present in all of your courses. But this is the course where you'll be looking at and receiving feedback on your presentation. And I want you to take into mind that this is something is a skill you'll use in class, but you'll also use it after class. You'll use it when you're presenting for a job interview. You'll use it when you're presenting, when you're getting a performance feedback or giving a performance feedback. And the method that I'm going to use is similar to the Executive MBA, where it's a combination of classroom and coaching. We'll do one day, 6-hour day, where everyone is together in the classroom, 20 student maximum. Going to take a class. We spend 6 hours on these 3 V's. By the way, it's my favorite topic. So the 3 V's, I can spend 1 minute on each, 1 hour on each, or 1 day on each. Doesn't matter. But in this class, we're doing 6 hours, so about 2 hours on each of the 3 V's, with plenty of interaction, chance to practice, chance to ask questions. Then you'll be broken into small groups, 4 per 2-hour session. And you will receive then 30 minutes of 1-to-1 or 3-to-1, because it'll be from me as your primary coach, but also your colleagues giving you feedback on the way you present. And then we come back for a final 6-hour course day where you get a chance to present yourself again briefly and see the after. So you'll have a before and an after, and you'll be able to use what you learn in this class in all of your other classes. So with that, I'd like to open it for any questions that you might have about presentations in general, about presentations in this course that we're planning for this year, this term, or beyond. Anything about me, whatever you want to learn. My apologies, by the way, I mentioned to Shingo that the background is unable to be presented because of this old laptop I'm using today. Yoshi, sorry about that, but it doesn't support our wonderful background like we had on graduation. But so any questions or comments about developing your presentation skills for this class and beyond?
I do have a question.
I see
Hi,
Rita.
Andrew. Oh, sorry, Rita. Okay.
Rita, go ahead, and Ashley.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Andrew, because during your presentation now, I feel like I already feel the 3 V's, the verbal, vocal, and virtual. And so are you in Japan right now?
I am in Japan. I've been here 29 years, so longer than most of you.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Just I'm looking forward to seeing you very soon. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, Rita. And Ashley?
Hi, yeah. My question was about the timing of the course. I'm looking at the schedule just now. So it's gonna happen in term 1-2, yeah?
Yes.
Rather than instead of term 1-1. Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, and you know what? I wasn't part of the decision making for that, but I think it's a perfect timing because you will have had one set of classes and you're going to know we can refer back to the areas that you might have had difficulty in the class itself. So each of you will have different strengths and weaknesses. And so you'll be able to bring that to the court and say, here's where I have trouble in class. Or if it's for a group presentation, we also focus in that area.
And hopefully we'll be in Japan.
Really good. Yes. Yes, please come. Yeah, we might need to do it hybrid. I've understood if those who are not able to make it yet, but we hope to see you here. Other questions?
This is something probably Catherine and Kaz and Shingo are going to be probably talking about as part of the WISE leadership course later in this week. That's part of the WISE leadership that you all asked to present your knowledge report at the very end of the year, and which you're going to be evaluated on your presentation skills. So in the short term, that's what you need to expect to do. And a lot of students in the past years appreciated what they learned from Andrew in this course.
Yeah, that's what we did last year. My understanding, Yoshi, is that this year that might be the requirement may have changed. So, but I do want to, yeah, but that exactly. I would say to this class, you know, when you are presenting yourself, this is your opportunity to really shine. And I want you to shine in your classes here as well as beyond. And some of the foundations that you get from this class, it's something that can stick with you. And then you have a lifetime coach. I'm happy to share my ideas throughout.
Great. So any further questions, they can ask you directly, Andrew, yeah?
Yes, and there was one more thing Shingo wanted me to point out. So we are expecting this class to be for 20 participants, mostly to limit those coaching sessions. So if we get more than 20, we may ask you to provide just a sentence or two as to why you want to take the class. One reason you might want to take the class is because there'll be an opportunity to win a prize. Get a grip on presentations. So I'll bring a couple of copies of that. So there is sometimes a free lunch.
Yeah, which happens to be written by this author, great known author called Andrew Silverman. So surprise, surprise. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Andrew. And now Shimo, please take over and then give the students about the steps.
I need to give an announcement about the JL.
Okay.
So for this year, we actually plan to offer both basic and intermediate Japanese classes. But recently, one of the instructor of Japanese language became in very bad health. And we actually decided to cancel intermediate class. It was a very hard decision, but for basic, we thought maybe you need help to start learning Japanese. But for intermediate, maybe you can do study by yourself. So it was a very hard decision, but this year we decided to cancel intermediate Japanese language class. And on September 23rd, there is actually a placement test for the basic Japanese language. It basically assesses your Japanese language skill. And so if your Japanese language capability is very high, you actually told that this class is too easy for you, okay? And it starts from 3 p.m. and it's written on the Canvas page.
So the same day and right before the JB2 placement.
Yes.
So Wednesday, 23rd, JL, Japanese language placement test, followed by JBE2 placement test. Shimo?
Oh. Okay, I will go through the campus with you briefly first. I'm going to share my screen. Have all of you already accessed my BA on campus? No?
Yes.
Oh, good. On this page, you can find useful quick links. For example, course and classroom locations. So you can, if you click here, you can find 5 required courses and 4 elective courses here. If you click the link, you can find more detailed information of the course. I just want to let you know about this. Then I will back to the main pages. Usually I put let me talk more about the enrollment. Usually I put the enrollment list here. I just made the enrollment list as of today. All of you need to take the required course, except your senpai Aya and Handor. Also, for the W degree students, requirement is a little bit different. For the W degradement, you have to take the knowledge management and the JBE, but you don't need to take all the required course. For the term 1 enrollment, elective enrollment, I would like to share the slide for you to remember easily. For enrolling term 1 elective course, you must take a placement test. For Japanese language and JPE2, the tests are scheduled on September 23rd. Intensive writing, I think the test is in this afternoon. If you don't take the placement test, it means you will not have the opportunity to enroll in this course. After you pass the placement test, please talk to the instructor of the course if you wish to enroll in the course. Then I will make an enrollment list according to the information from the instructor and then make the enrollment list and put the campus. Then please make confirmation about your enrollment by September 25th. After that, you still have the time to make a final decision if you really want to take the course before the third section of the course by October 5th. I will also I will send a reminder email to you before the deadline every time. If you have any questions or you need more information on this, you can just write the email to me. I will be happy to help you. Have you any questions on this?
Shimo and Andrew, what about presentation skills?
I think the presentation skills is start from term 1-2, not term 1-1.
Okay, so you're going to provide
I didn't
later?
put this.
So you're going to explain later, sometime later?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Any questions? No?
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
All right, thank you, Shimo. I think this is it for this part of the day 2 program. Shingo, anything you need to get to the students before lunch?
Actually, it's a good timing. So let me announce this. We actually haven't decided if we should do 100% online for term 1-2. We actually are gonna decide based on the number of students who can actually get into Japan. So we are making the decision on the last day of September. Okay, and that's it.
So if there is any good news that you want to share with Shingo, you should let the Shingo know before the September 30th. I mean, in addition to your birthday.
Of course, I'm correcting your birthday.
Yes, that's important. But they are here. That what we're looking for is if the situation changed, you find out that in the way to come to visit this part of the world, you may be quicker to know, or we may be it may be quicker for us to know. So whoever knows the first, maybe if you could just keep sharing it, that will help us to make the right decision, right, Shingo?
Yes.
Yep.
Thanks, Yoshi.
Yep.
Can I also just remind everybody that after lunch, we've got a busy program, and please be on time to the sessions, because we need to keep running things according to the schedule. And also another reminder to, between sessions when we have breaks, please don't sign out of Zoom, and please just turn off your camera and mute your mic. Thank you.
All right. So afternoon session, Catherine, is going to start 1?
Yes.
1
yes,
o'clock.
please be on time to that. We don't have much time for that session. So.
Okay. So Catherine already said be on time 3 times for the last minute, which means that, as Shingo said, be here before 1 o'clock. That's how you should read what we are saying. And on time is actually late. So don't try to to come in at exactly 1 o'clock, because 1 o'clock we are starting that session. And so please get that message from the Catherine. All right.
Thank you, Yoshi.
Okay. All right.
Enjoy
Great.
your
Yeah, enjoy your lunch. See you in the afternoon. Thank you very much, Kaz, for leading your presentation.